Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're diving into something I find absolutely fascinating: how to actually forge a much deeper bond with your cat by fundamentally shifting our entire perspective on feline affection. If you've ever wondered if your cat truly loves you, or if you're, just the giant who opens the food cans, you are definitely in the right place. We're going to break down the science and those super subtle behaviors that reveal a whole new world of connection. Okay, let's jump right into this. You know how we humans usually show affection, right? Big, loud gestures, dragging home expensive toys, treats, and wanting to cuddle them 24/7. But cats, they're totally different. They actually crave quiet, almost boring habits that we honestly just completely miss. We tend to think love is all about the big stuff, but to a cat, love is found in the calm, super predictable routines of daily life. Which brings us to a really crucial question. Are you, without even realizing it, quietly breaking your cat's bond? Because if you skip over these tiny, seemingly insignificant moments, you might be unintentionally breaking the very connection your cat is trying so hard to build with you. And this is especially true with one specific, incredibly quiet habit that almost everyone overlooks. I'll actually be revealing that one at the very end of our explainer. Part 1. Predictability equals safety. The power of a boring routine. So, have you ever noticed how your cat will literally wake you up at the exact same time every single morning, like right before your alarm even goes off? Sure, it's a bit annoying at 6 a.m., but it is definitely not random. Your cat has your entire day memorized. To a creature whose ancestors had to carefully control their territory just to survive, a steady, predictable timeline means safety. They know exactly when you get up, when you leave, and when you're going to reach for their bowl. Now, contrast that rock-solid timeline with chaos. To a cat, an unpredictable, constantly changing schedule literally feels like danger. When your schedule is just all over the place, you are quietly keeping their little nervous systems on edge without even realizing it. But a boring, repetitive rhythm, that safely tells them, hey, I've got you, in a language they actually understand. Moving on to part 2, the perfect indoor hunt. Why dangling a toy isn't enough. So every single cat is basically running on this hardwired biological script that they just have to complete: stalk, chase, pounce, and catch. When this script doesn't play out, something in them stays really restless. A dead toy just sitting still on the floor? That's not going to trigger this hunt. You need to drag that wand toy like it's prey fleeing for its life. Let it dart behind the couch, freeze, twitch, and then bolt again. When you watch your cat lock on, that is the switch flipping. But here is the absolute secret sauce that turns playtime into actual love. You have got to let them win. Seriously, a hunt that never ends in a catch just leaves a cat super frustrated. You have to let that pounce connect so they feel it, grab it, and get their victory. When you reliably give them that satisfying finish, you stop being just the food provider and you instantly become their ultimate hunting partner. Part 3. Feline communication secrets. They are actively listening to you. Now, you might think they're ignoring you half the time, but science actually proves they totally aren't. The data on this is wild. A 2013 Japanese study in animal cognition showed cats can actually pick their owner's specific voice out of a lineup of strangers. And a 2019 study in Scientific Reports found they can even recognize the sound of their own name, telling it apart from other words that sound similar. They are actively filing your voice away as one of the safe, familiar sounds of home. And get this. Cats actually develop specific meows, mostly just to talk to us, not to other cats. That chirp or meow, it is aimed directly at you. When your cat talks to you, they're opening a conversational loop on purpose and answering them back with a really simple, yeah, I hear you, or just asking how their morning is going, closes that loop. Over time, your cat learns that reaching out actually gets a response, and that back and forth builds a massive bond. All right, part 4, the shared family scent, the invisible bond of smell. Have you ever wondered why your cat constantly rubs against your ankles or headbutts you the second you stand still? Well, they actually have scent glands located right on their cheeks, their forehead, and their chin. When they rub those areas on you, they are actively marking you. They're literally mixing their signature scent with yours. In cat terms, they're basically saying, this one is mine, this one is family.
Which brings us to this idea of the shared colony scent. This is a blended group smell that means belonging and safety to a feline family unit. And here is where we humans mess up all the time. When you scrub every trace of them off their favorite blanket, or you wash their bed the second it smells quote-unquote catty, you're erasing that shared colony scent they worked so hard to build. To them, it's literally like coming home and finding the locks changed. Just let them rub on you, lean into the headbutt, and stop washing all their scent away.
Finally, Part 5, the quietest form of love, unlocking the slow blink and silent spaces.
I want you to think about the profound biological weight behind a slow blink. In a wild world where a predator literally never lets its guard down, voluntarily closing your eyes near someone is the ultimate act of trust. When a cat slow blinks at you and holds it half shut for a beat, they aren't just sleepy. It is a massive display of absolute security.
The craziest part? It works both ways. A 2020 UK study published in Scientific Reports actually proved that if you follow these exact steps, catch your cat's eye, completely relax your face, slowly close your eyes, and then open them just as slowly, cats are measurably more comfortable. They are far more likely to slow blink right back at you, and even more willing to approach a stranger's outstretched hand after a slow blink. You are quite literally speaking their language.
And now, for the habit I promised you at the very start of this explainer, the one thing that bonds them to you harder than almost anything else. We humans usually demand affection, right? Handling them, playing with them, asking for a response. But the absolute greatest bond comes from the quietest habit, just existing calmly in the same room, asking absolutely nothing from them. No reaching, no treats, no talking.
Because think about it, every other form of affection asks something of them. But letting them just settle nearby without immediately grabbing them, that proves they can simply be at peace beside you. Flopping down nearby isn't them being needy. They are actively choosing your company for its own sake. They just want to know you're near and that being near you is completely safe. To a cat, this quiet coexistence isn't just nothing. It's basically the whole relationship. By understanding their need for routine, satisfying that inner hunter, giving them those slow blinks, and just letting them silently be with you, you literally become their safest place in the world. So I'll leave you with this thought to take away from our explainer today. How will you change the way you interact with and share a room with your feline friend tonight?